Hey guys, it's Austin, and I know this is a surprise video, but I wanted to give it a shot to see how you guys would react to this, and the question is, do you want me to cover Demon Slayer? And if I do, I'm probably not going to read the manga, I'm going to be honest, because from what I've seen, there's not many chapters I can find of it, so it's one of those, pretty sure there's many chapters, but, one of those things, as I said, but nonetheless, tell me in the comments, but nonetheless, so, Demon Slayer. My first impressions and kind of a review. I'm going to go with the review, then I'm going to talk about my impressions. So, we are greeted with a wonderful series, and I'm not going to lie, the first episode wasn't, as crazy and thrilling, but it's, as I said, it's the first episode, I know a lot of people expect action right away. We've been pampered by many wonderful shonen animes that do that, but I'm not complaining about it because I enjoy when it does stuff like this, and it did it well, because we had the whole, it was really happy, then it got serious. There's like, you got to pay attention. That's kind of how life is, and ironically enough, if I'm mistaken, main character name, Tajiro, kind of mentions how life can literally change like a storm any second, and I thought that was quite beautiful. But nonetheless, so in the beginning we see Tajiro, and he's kind of filling in for his father, as we find out his father actually has passed away, and he's kind of making the money. He's the man of the house, and his mom is taking care of the many siblings he has. I don't remember the number off of my top of my head, but good amount, to say the least. But I'm pretty sure this anime is taking place in a quite old time period, or it could just be, fantasy and yada yada. I'm pretty sure it's just fantasy. I would like to know the era. If anyone does know, do tell me, so it can kind of help me understand a little bit more. But nonetheless, so we see he's going down the mountain to sell the coal that he has, and he's, as I said before, he's trying to make the money so they can eat their fill for New Year's. And we see that his siblings have a deep connection with him, and that they are very close. And we see his sister, if I'm mistaken, Yuzuko, kind of talk to him and say, they really look up to you, kind of thing. And he goes down to the village to sell this stuff, and we see at this point kind of the interaction between them, and him and the village, or the villagers, are very nice, and it seems they trust him a whole lot, and he's kind of the reliable man, and I'm pretty sure he's a good person, as we saw further in the anime. But we get to see his keen little special skill of his sense of smell, and it's quite interesting. It's a weird special skill, but it's one of those I haven't seen it enough, so I invite it, kind of thing. But interesting enough. And after he sells everything, he goes back up, heading to the mountain, and we see this person he calls granddad. I don't know if he's actually his granddad or anything, because people in the animes just call people that way, but hey. And this is kind of where we get to see some information about the demons and why the anime is called Demon Slayer. And demons, from what his granddad said, are man-eaters. They're kind of like zombies. They show up at night, kind of thing. And if you played Minecraft, I hate to draw this comparison, at night you'll get screwed, real screwed in Minecraft. But nonetheless, besides that whole really bad example, it's just kind of cool at the same time. And I'm gonna be honest, I really love when the Japanese mythology or Shinto, the religion, and just, I don't know, I'm always a bit of a big fan of the craziness and some stuff, but interesting enough. But continue on. So we hear the whole thing, this is all foreshadowing. Tajiro asked his granddad, hey, can they actually go into buildings if they could? He goes, yeah, they usually do, but we have demon slayers that protect the people. And if that wasn't a foreshadowing, I don't know what. But continue on, he kind of gets a little worried, and he kind of starts walking back up, and he kind of starts to smell blood, and he runs towards the house, and he sees that his entire family's basically just been wiped out by demons, and his sister's the only one that's remaining, which is Nezuko. And he kind of carries her to get medical attention, and all of a sudden she snaps and tries to eat him, as demons, the man-eating demons, they do that. Believe it or not, that's why they are called the man-eating demons. The more you know. We don't get a budget for that sparkly stuff, but nonetheless, he struggles to, he knows he has to do, it's one of those, the fight for your life kind of situations, and he knows what he has to do, but he wants to believe his sister can get better, and he doesn't understand how, she turned into a demon. We don't really get information until the end of the episode, but he knows that he smells something different about her, and it's one of those things that I'm pretty sure it's setting up for the universe, that there's a lot of demons, but they don't usually show. It's kind of like, if I want to draw a comparison to, the good old Wise Grandson, if you ever watch it, I'm pretty sure it's coming out pretty soon, but demons are there, just you wouldn't know, and you don't know until it's like dark out kind of thing. But nonetheless, continuing on, we see a demon slayer actually show up and kind of try to protect Tajiro, and Tajiro kind of starts to try to defend Nezuko, trying to she can be different. And it brings up this question: is, well, like Goblin Slayer, all the monster's bad kind of thing, and it's an interesting conflict of interest, and it's one of those things that's going to play on your morals, I'm guessing. And Goblin Slayer kind of just that message just got completely wiped out by Mr. Goblin Slayer just wiping them all out without question, and just the bodies. Well, pretty cool nonetheless. But continue on. We see after the guy starts calling Tajiro weak and all this stuff, how can he help his sister if he can't even try to raise, to kill her kind of thing. It brings a good point, like how can he do that if he doesn't have the resolve to do that kind of stuff. And he had a lot of valid points, but man, Tajiro's a smart guy, and we see that the Demon Slayer actually was going to kill him, but his sister Nezuko jumped in the way instead of trying to devour him, protected him. And this is where we start to play on the whole thing of, are all demons bad? And it doesn't really seem like that, but this guy, the Demon Slayer, I don't know his name quite yet, but he remembers something, someone saying that, and he recalls them getting devoured by that person. So they wouldn't do that, and it's one of those like old tropes in the monster movie. Oh, they wouldn't do that, and they do. I mean, if you look at the Gremlins, that was a crazy movie. And the second one I still have yet to watch. But yeah, it's just one of those tropes I haven't seen in a while, so as I said, I invite it, honestly. But it kind of made the Demon Slayer second guess everything he knows, and that's kind of cool to see, because he starts to have his own inner monologue about how, as I said before, he's seen this before, it's not going to end well, but he's going to try to put the trust in her. And we see, Tajiro just going back to why he's wise. This man, he freaking planned it right. He threw a pebble and he threw his axe trying to actually injure the Demon Slayer, but he almost got him, and that was kind of cool. A man that doesn't really have much experience in combat was able to pull that off. Pretty cool, and thank God he's not wicked overpowered or anything, but hey. I usually invite overpowered characters if they're funny. I mean, look at that time I got reincarnated as a slime. It's hilarious. But continuing on. So we end with the Demon Slayer actually sparing, Tajiro and Nezuko, Nizaki, or however you want to say her name. Pretty sure someone's going to correct me, but quite refreshing, nonetheless, to see that she's fine. She kind of has his mouth guard to kind of make sure she doesn't eat her brother, and it's going to have this whole meaning of, can we trust these kind of people, even though they're considered monsters? Are they actually good monsters? And that's, as I said before, that's the message I'm getting from the first episode. And as I said, the first episode wasn't, exciting, Michael Bay stuff, but it was enough to, hey, I'm going to continue watching this stuff. And yeah, so my first impressions now. So I just want to say this animation for this anime is actually pretty solid. And coming from Winter, Winter had a rough time with its animation, I'm going to be honest. Besides, I think the only one that was spot on, but I'm pretty sure someone could find something. It's, as I said, you guys, you got to understand that most of the time this stuff isn't really, touched up until Blu-ray. And if there's an issue on Blu-ray, you can complain all you want, because you paid for that kind of stuff. And I mean, yeah, if you're paying subscription, yeah, but nonetheless, it's one of those, they touch it up later on, and I understand. And honestly, this animation is just quite awesome, especially with the snow effects with the feet and everything. I kind of almost had a realistic look to it, and it's really cool. I'm not gonna. I know that's just so weird to be like fascinated by, but it's just like that level of detail is pretty cool. And I know bringing this game up, a lot of people will get up in arms. Like Battlefield compared to Call of Duty, a lot of the little small minor details is just makes it all the cool. Well, the cooler. There we go. That's the word. But overall, this series, as I said, it's up to you if you guys want me to cover. I'm not gonna have the review like right away, but it'll be out maybe a day or two after, because I got other stuff to do. But nonetheless, I'm quite fascinated by this anime and can't wait to watch more, and hopefully I'll be able to cover it with you guys and talk about it with you guys. But anyways, guys, if you do want me to talk about like any more first impressions, do tell me what anime you want me to look at and review and give my first impressions on in the comments down below. But anyways, guys, I do want to say thank you for 1.4k subs. We are actually around 100 subs more, and we'll be at the sub goal that I have a special video being made for you guys. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you later. This has been Austin-Sensei signing out. Peace.